Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across our beloved empire. It's great to be in the empire today. Potentially still not great on the immune system, but nonetheless, as we've been saying for the past several days now, I may be scarred and deformed, but my will has never been stronger. And today, while we still wear the back to healing portable technology on us, we gotta talk about the fifth brother. We got the kit reveal today, and I gotta say, I was expecting a little bit more fear. A very odd kit with the fear mechanics here. Some cool things, some questionable things, and if you guys recall on top of this, we're still waiting for an update to the Inquisitors. Apparently there's gonna be a new unique ability, a minor rework per se, to make these guys a little bit better. Let's just remind you about that over here. Alongside this character, we'll be updating all current Inquisitor kits with a new unique ability to bring the full squad together. We don't know what that is going to be just yet. We don't know if it's something with the Grand Inquisitor or just a new unique ability. And everyone, we don't have those details, so we're still... They've been rolling out this team since pretty much the beginning of the year. We're almost 5 months into the year here in a matter of a few days, and we still don't see the full picture of this team. The beginning of this year has been a little bit slow, especially with characters, and especially seeing this team come to fruition. There's just so many question marks surrounding them. First thing I want to bring to note, this kit will be coming out later on this week. I suspect on Thursday, we're going to be doing some testing on this guy and see, with now a full team of 5, is there really anything going on with this particular team? We'll talk about that more towards the later part of this video. The jury's out, as we've been saying. We'll see. I suspect we're still not going to see anything crazy until the Grand Inquisitor comes around. But scrolling down, a few interesting things I want to bring to your attention. You know, it's funny. I've already been on several rants. I don't want to rant again about it, but they're redefining what a legendary event means. I find it hilarious that our traditional sense of legendaries is basically what the legacy tier of the marquee events is now. If you want to participate in the legacy tier, you're gonna need the 5th brother, 2nd sister, 9th sister, 7th sister, and the 8th brother, all at 5 stars that play the legacy tier, just to get, you know, a couple of Omicrons. Are you kidding me? It's really sad to see how this game, you know, in some ways it turned to be better, but it's just sad to see how it's gone to this depth where we just can't have 5-star legendaries anymore just to participate in an entire marquee event. And by the way, if you missed out now, sorry, out of luck, whale harder, bro. It just sucks that we're rechanging the definition of legendaries, and just to do a marquee event, you need 5-star requirements, which is basically what used to be legendaries. We've already talked about this before in the past about the Grand Inquisitor, how now you're going to need to have Relic 5 to get the Grand Inquisitor. And it just sucks too that they don't want to give us a straight answer on why they're changing what legendary means. Just be straight with us. You don't got to tell us, read between the lines, wink, wink. Just tell us more money. We can understand that, all right? We're all grown men and women of the empire over here. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this kit for the 5th brother. Now, this kit was mainly meant to bring fear. We saw this in the little Star Wars update that was brought to us last week. And when I saw fear, I was like, all right, you got my attention. We're waiting for something to kind of make this team a little bit more exciting. Well, it's a really weird thing. He's going to mainly punish Jedi-led teams that have non-Jedi allies. And I'm sitting here thinking, all right, okay, what are we looking at here? Jedi Knight Revan usually have a full Jedi team. Baslas usually have a full Jedi team. Jedi Master Luke usually has a full Jedi team. Jedi Master Kenobi, okay. Maybe this is meant to penalize Commander Ahsoka Tano. So again, a very niche, small use, and it probably is really only going to make sense in territory wars when you got the Grand Inquisitor with you. Anyways, let's go ahead and check this out. A powerful Inquisitor that specializes in supporting the purge of all Jedi by applying devastating debuffs here. Take a look at the base. There's some core kit mechanics that are going to be nice, like a mass buff this spell. It's got some nice things, but again, this team just seems way too focused on a game mode that's not as important as Grand Arena, unless there's some big changes coming to territories. But anyways, basics. I shall go alone. Deal special damage to target enemy if the enemy is debuff. Inflict a stack of purge if the enemy is a Jedi. Inflict another stack of purge. Inflict tenacity down for 2 turns. Nice. Tenacity down is always nice, and this conversation's been coming up a lot because Wampa Solo's one of the biggest weaknesses to a Wampa Solo is tenacity down, and unfortunately you cannot resist tenacity down. It's basically a guaranteed debuff, so tenacity down is gonna be nice. These debuffs can't be resist. However, the ability can be evaded. And I'm assuming if it's evaded, you can't inflict tenacity down. All right, let's keep moving on here. The kill is mine, cooldown of 3. This seems kind of nice. The Heather, man, this whole Rona thing, I can barely breathe through my nose. I'm gonna start sounding like this. The kill is mine, cooldown of 3. The spell all buffs. Ah, boy, that helped me out a little bit. The spell all buffs, inflict defense down, okay. Then deals special damage to all enemies. So mass buff the spell, that's nice. Kind of sounds almost like a Scion, but not quite, because as we're gonna see, it can be evaded. Inflict a stack of purge to all enemies. If the target was already purged, inflict expose for 2 turns. Grant all allies potency up for 2 turns, and these debuffs can't be resisted. All right. Biggest downside is it can be evaded, and if it can be evaded, you're not going to get the mass buff this spell. But on paper, if there's no foresight, you should be good and be able to inflict all this stuff. So on paper, it seems kind of nice. It's got a mass buff this spell. You know, mass buff this spells are kind of one of those things that have plug and play viability throughout the course of the entire game. Again, you gotta wait and see. It's one of those things like, yeah, it sounds like they have some cool stuff on paper, but in action, it's been such a lackluster, wet noodle type of team here. And this sort of things kind of get a little bit weird. And the only thing I can really think of is this is meant, again, this team is meant to be a territory war, what we presume to be a Galactic Legends Kenobi killer, since that Galactic Legends literally off the hinges, not a lot of teams keeping it in check. Shrouded in Darkness, cooldown of 4. Deal special damage to target enemy and inflict vulnerable for 2 turns. Okay, that's not incredibly exciting, only a 1 character vulnerability. Anyways, for each stack of purge on the target, all Inquisitors allies gain 10% protection up stacking for 2 turns. Now we know purge can go up to a maximum of 6, right? 60% protection, that doesn't sound all that bad, especially the 9th sister, a very durable character. Okay, that's kind of cool. And one thing we have noticed with the introduction of the 7th sister purge, we're seeing it starting to get out there a bit more, right? 7th sister, 8th brother, getting tons of purge out there. We just need something to translate into something more meaningful. I don't know if 5th brother is gonna be the action. No, I don't want your camera hub. Get your software update out of my face. Goodness, I'm in the middle of a kit reveal, something very highly prestigious right now. No one can read kit reveals except me. Goodness. Now you ruined my groove, man. You ruined my groove. Anyways, if the target has at least 3 stacks of purge, gain damage immunity for 1 turn. All right, that's kind of cool. You're gonna stun the target for 1 turn. And here's the weird part. If the enemy was a Jedi, you're going to inflict fear on all non-Jedi enemies for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. So a little bit of my excitement got killed, you know, because when we saw this little sneak peek, we saw that there's this inflict fear on enemies. Like, oh, okay, fear is one of the more deadly debuffs in the game. Yes, Piet has it, but really, Revan makes the most use out of fear. Piet's only got a small condition to get the fear to appear. Darth Revan's the king of fear in the game. It's like, oh, okay, all right. It's a lot of fear would be nice. Well, it's only against non-Jedi enemies if the Jedi was leave, so super conditional. And really the only thing that's come into my mind is Commander Ahsoka Tano, keeping fear on them, which should jack up their cooldowns and all that other stuff. So again, such a niche use of fear. A little bit of a bummer. Yeah, I don't know. It's just these kits are so weird. I'm just not seeing the value in this team so far. Again, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure, again, just for the sake of the argument, it's going to be cool in territories, but so what? That's kind of the stance I have right now on all that. Anyways, moving on. Leader, I sense those we seek. Here we go. A lot of stuff. And again, another territory war Omicron, which begs the question, are we going to get some sort of unique ability that combines these leads? That's another problem we've been discussing. Assuming this team is going to be good in territory wars, and you're going to get, let's just say for speculation, this new unique ability that's going to make the squad fit together more. That's a lot of Omicrons, man. That is a lot of Omicrons on this team right here. I mean, let's just assume you wouldn't need all of them. Assuming there's 1 on Grand Inquisitor, and then let's say you need 1 or 2 to really get the most out of the Inquisitors. That's a lot of Omicrons for 1 team, for 1 specific game mode, for really 1 specific Jedi-led but non-Jedi allies. It's such a weird team. One of the weirdest teams I've seen in existence since the original Prepared Crew got announced back in 2018. That was like the last weird faction to really come to you. I guess Mandalorians are kind of in a bit of a weird spot until Maul came along. Anyway, shall I keep reading? Empire allies gain 5% defense and 5% max health. Inquisitors allies gain an additional 30% defense and 30% max health. That's a nice chunk of change right there. If the enemy leader is a Jedi, inflict a stack of purge on the leader and all non-Jedi enemies at the start of battle, stacking to a maximum of 6. So again, Master Kenobi, Commander Ahsoka, I presume, which can't be resisted, and whenever the purge is consumed or dispelled on non-Jedi enemies, but it excludes Galactic Legends, they lose 3% speed, stacking to a maximum of 18% for the rest of the encounter. So really, Commander Ahsoka, again, I'm making a huge assumption right now. This is targeting Commander Ahsoka Tano. Commander Ahsoka Tano is one of the fastest characters in the game. You can get her to fast speeds without even trying. That's how great she is. Well, this is gonna slow her down. You got the fears, ruining her groove. Hard to get that force sleep going here. Inquisitors are already a very fast team. On top, we don't have the speed numbers for the fifth brother here. But I assume it's meant to slow down Commander Ahsoka. It's the only thing that's really making sense in my mind. Then whenever an ally Inquisitor uses this special ability, apply a second purge on the target enemy, which can't be evaded or resisted. All right, so more ways to get purge on there if he's in the leadership slot. But in Territory Wars, if you slap on the Omicron, which I gotta say, I am surprised that some people have been putting Omicrons on these guys, or it's like, man, you guys must be swimming in Omicrons. We're playing a separate game here. There's no reason to put Omicrons on these guys yet until we see the full picture. But if you're curious, if you're in territories, you have the Omicron. If the enemy leader is a Jedi, excluding Galactic Legends, Jedi leader abilities that grant bonus speed to non-Jedi allies. Additionally, remove 70 speed, and whenever a non-Jedi enemy, it's just so, it's such a, let's just keep it. It's just such a weird thing. It's crazy how powerful Master Kenobi is, and the best they can do is like, all right, we'll let Lord Vader go in shambles, but the best counter we're gonna give you for Kenobi is this very niche, very, very specific, in a very specific game mode, in a very specific scenario. We're gonna give you this. But Jedi leader abilities that grant bonus speed to non-Jedi allies, additionally remove 70 speed. That's a lot of speed. And whenever a non-Jedi enemy gains retribution, you dispel retribution and instead inflict expose for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. Expose is going to be important because expose is based off max health, and especially things like Master Kenobi lead, you're getting bonus protection, which is based off max health, so it should help you put some more damage on the team and quickly get him out of this bonus protection state. The first time an enemy gains bonus turn meter, Inquisitor's allies gain 15% bonus turn meter. So I'm a little confused here. I gotta say, maybe it's not making sense to me. Maybe it's the Rona fog in my vision here. But it sounds like this Omicron's only gonna be useful if it's up against a non-Kenobi team. Because read with me, if the enemy leader's a Jedi, excluding Galactic Legends. So if there is a Galactic Legends, i.e. Kenobi, you're not gonna get any of these bonuses. Maybe I'm misreading something here. But it would seem like the point of this was I don't know what the heck, who's thinking of this kid over here. I'm sure maybe down the road it'll make more sense. But I'm assuming their primary goal is going after Master Kenobi, right? Leader, light side, his leadership ability grants a tons of extra speed plus 30 extra speed. Commander Ahsoka Tano would be on that team. The rest of the team is usually Jedi. For example, you got Mace Windu, General Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano. Sometimes Padme Amidala might be in there. And then, but more importantly, Commander Ahsoka Tano, jacking up her insane speeds here. But if the Omicron's gonna get canceled, there's a Galactic Legend lead. What else are we looking at out there? What other team are they like, oh yeah, we gotta create this lead for that? It could very well be this lead is just meant to be pure trash. It's way too specific. What other Jedi lead with non-Jedi allies are you gonna find lingering around on defense or are gonna be brought in offense? It's I don't know. I am hoping I'm missing something very blatant. But when I'm reading this, when you're excluding Galactic Legends, I'm guessing none of this applies then. So I'm just a little bit confused. I don't know what the target demographic is, and especially in Territory Wars, where the meta is a lot more narrow compared to Grand Arena, where Grand Arena is a wider meta. Anyways, we had a whole conversation about this the other day. Not the panic farm, the Inquisitors. As you mentioned, there's nothing really to indicate right now why we should push so hard for this team. And then lastly, the unique ability, a new target. Here we go. At the start of the battle, if all allies are Inquisitors, Fifth Brother has a 100% counter chance. Recover 5% health protection whenever an enemy attacks on a turn. Okay. It's something, I guess. Well, Jedi tend to have a lot of out-of-turn attacks, whether it's Master Luke, Bastila, Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Master Kenobi. If the enemy leader is a Jedi, whatever non-Jedi enemy gains bonus turn meter. Like who? Inflict provoked on them for 1 turn, which can't be resisted, especially Master Kenobi. There's no bonus turn meter on any Kenobi team or a Kenobi-led team, and you can't even gain turn meter when it goes. I would love to know. Maybe there's just something not released in the game that makes no sense right now. Anyways, I gotta stop. I keep interrupting myself here. You're gonna inflict provoked on them, a new effect on a non-Jedi enemy that's gaining bonus turn meter if the enemy leader is a Jedi, which can't be resisted. Whenever a Jedi uses a basic ability during their turn, they are inflicted with breach at the end of their turn. That's nice. Here's what provoke does. 100% counter chance. This character deals 90% less damage when attacking out of turn. Whenever this character attacks out of turn, it takes damage equal to 50% of its max health. That's kind of gnarly right there. This damage cannot defeat enemies, so it's an interesting one. It kind of reminds me of a trail lead thing when you're attacking out of turn, you're kind of hurting yourself here. This is the most interesting thing about the kid here, and so far as I'm reading here, it's not excluding Galactic Legends. And when Kenobi hits the high ground, he tends to attack out of turn quite a lot. So that's the kit reveal. I don't know, maybe I'll check and see there. Let's refresh the page. I just don't understand. I don't quite understand the point of this kit here. Yeah, this guy was made to counter shock-led clones. If that's impressive too, man, we must be still playing in 2018 or whatever she came out on. I mean, shock-led clones, there are so many other ways to counter shock-led clones. I guess we could imagine some teams that would utilize the kit, but it's so outdated, like shock-led clones. I guess that's a good call-up, but who the heck cares? Shock-led clones, it's an all-right team. It's not an A-grade team. It's not a team we see a lot. Maybe it's something, again, that mid-level guilds might see, but again, there are tons of ways, excessive ways, to take on shock-led clones. It's a really weird conundrum. I can't think of many other. I mean, here, let's just take a look at Jedi teams, Jedi leads that would have non-Jedi allies. I guess Shaak Ti is one, but again, that should not be a selling point. Maybe back when shock-led clones were a thing before, well, General Anakin Skywalker came out, that would make a little bit more sense. Maybe General Anakin Skywalker. Potentially, okay. He's a Jedi lead, kind of like the Shaak Ti situation here. Again, there's tons of ways to counter General Anakin Skywalker. I guess you could think of General Kenobi with clones, but who does that at all nowadays? Barriss lead with clones. It's like, what are we aiming for here? I mean, yeah, we could think of the 501st with the Jedi lead, but it shouldn't really be a selling point. I don't know. I'm just a little lost since these guys been coming out, like what the target purpose is. They did say with the Grand Inquisitor, we're going to have a Galactic Legends, or they didn't say, I don't think they specifically spelled them out, but they said they're supposed to go toe-to-toe with the Galactic Legend Jedi inside of Territory Wars, and that's primarily, when you think of that, it's Jedi Master Kenobi. He's the king of everything in the game right now. It's just one of the weirdest teams I've seen, and if we're looking at Shaak Ti clones, man, they missed the ball on that a couple years ago. I gotta say, I don't know, maybe you guys are more impressed than I am. But right now, as things stand, without seeing the new unique ability to tie them together more, without seeing the kit for Grand Inquisitor, it's hard to really sell this team. And we already went on a long rant about this the other day on how, yeah, they might be needed in Conquest for a few weeks. That's not really a selling point. An assault battle that happens maybe once a month, not really a selling point. A galactic challenge that happens for a couple weeks, not really a huge selling point. And of course, the legendary event itself, not really a selling point. And then of course, the Territory Wars specificity of this team against very specific teams, when Territories is just not on the same scale of importance as Grand Arena right now. I'm just a bit lost. But who knows? What is lost might be found. So I'm going to pass the ball over to you guys. Let me know, are you seeing an angle that might be more impressive to you? Maybe the tactile scanners is just not picking up on the radar just yet. So we're going to keep this conversation alive. Later on this week, we'll have the fifth brother come to Galaxy of Heroes on Thursday. So if you want to see what the Inquisitors are looking like, are they any useful? Well, you got to hit that like, comment, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And more importantly, until we meet again, always remember that it's great to be in the Empire today.